interrogative sentences. Now first let us discuss about reported speech. Now reported speech can be a direct speech or indirect speech. Direct speech consists of first person or the second person, but an indirect speech will always consist of the third person. Now talking about interrogative sentences are those sentences which are used for asking questions, and interrogative words can be who, when, do, did, what, how, where. All these are the interrogative words, right? So in this video we are going to discuss about the changes in interrogative sentences when we are converting from direct speech to indirect speech or from indirect to direct speech. So the changes can be over here like the direct, indirect speech. We have comma, inverted comma, and since we are talking about the interrogative sentence always ends with a question mark. So it has a question mark as well. Now this was for the direct speech. Now for indirect speech. Commas and inverted commas are removed. Question mark changes to full stop. Which means that an interrogative sentence changes to a complete sentence, to a simple sentence, right? In direct speech, our sentence is in a questionable form, but in indirect it changes to a simple statement, while the commas and inverted commas are omitted. Now usually when we convert a simple statement of direct speech to indirect, we make use of the conjunction that, right? That conjunction in interrogative sentence, when you have to change the sentence of interrogation to indirect form, that conjunction is not used. Instead of that conjunction, we make use of whether or if. If we have to answer yes or no question. Whenever we have to answer yes or no question, we will not make use of that conjunction that we use in rest of the sentences, but in interrogative sentences we make use of whether or if whenever we have to answer any yes or no questions. With words like WH words. WH words are like what, where, when. These are my WH words. Now with WH words, the subject does not change. So even in direct form our subject is same, and in indirect form as well the subject will remain the same. So these are some of the rules in order to make changes in interrogative sentences when we are converting from direct speech to indirect speech. First is that in indirect speech we have commas, inverted commas and question mark. Commas and inverted commas in every indirect speech is removed, and in interrogative sentence the question mark changes to full stop. Next is that conjunction is not used. Instead of using that conjunction, we will be using whether or if we have to answer any yes or no question. Next is for WH words, the subject does not change. The subject is same for direct sentence and it is same for indirect sentences. So for both, my subject will remain the same. Now another important rule for interrogative sentence conversion is that, like in normal sentences, we make use of words like said, told, commanded, but for interrogative sentences, whenever we have to convert them into indirect speech, we will be making use of words like questioned, wondered, wanted to know, inquired, or we can also make use of word interrogated. Because interrogated also means that we are asking some kind of question. So all these words are used for asking questions, and since we are converting interrogative sentences, therefore these words will be used instead of said or told. Right? Now let us understand this concept with help of some examples. Now, direct speech and indirect speech. The first example can be Ria asked Mitali do you like coffee? Ria asked Mitali, do you like coffee? Now since there is a question mark, I know that my sentence is beginning from do. Do is for interrogation and a question mark at the end. Definitely this is my interrogative sentence. And since it is within the inverted commas, I know that this is my direct sentence. Now I have to convert this sentence into indirect form. So my asked will be changed into either of these. But the best word is questioned, which is suitable for this sentence. So I will say Ria questioned Mitali whether she liked coffee. Now like will change to liked. Why? Because this is not a universal fact, right? This is not any kind of fact, not a mathematical fact, not a historical fact, just a simple question. So for that, my tense will change. The first form changes to the third form. Next example can be Suresh asked me where do you live? Now this is a WH word. For WH word, I said that my subject will remain the same. So I will start with Suresh. Now this is a kind of inquiry, right? Suresh wants to know, he is inquiring me about something. So I will say Suresh inquired where I lived. Do changes to did. Suresh inquire, where did I live? Right? Or it can also be Suresh inquired where I lived. Right? Or it can also be where did I live. So the subject over here remains the same. Why? Do you like coffee? Do was my subject over here. Here there is no such subject. But for WH words, the subject remains the same. So let us consider some other example. Another example can be Priya asked her mother did you have your breakfast? Priya asked her mother, did you have your breakfast? Now this is not a WH word, right? Since did is not a WH word, therefore my subject will not remain the same. It will change definitely. So Priya wanted to know. Now here out of whether or if, I think that if is more suitable. So I will say Priya wanted to know if her mother will change to had. If her mother had her breakfast. So Priya wanted to know if her mother had her breakfast. We can understand it better through many more examples, and another example can be the teacher asked the students why are you making such a noise? The teacher asked the students, why are you making such a noise? Now, are you making will change to present continuous, will change to past continuous, and since why is a WH word, therefore the subject will remain the same. The student, the teacher, questioned the students why are you making? I will not say why were they making, because that will again be a question sentence. I have to make it a simple statement, so I will say why. You will change to they, why they were making such a noise. Why they were making, this is not a question, but why are you making, this is a form of question. We have to eliminate the question form and we have to make a simple sentence. Therefore, this will interchange. Why were they will change to why they were. Let us consider some other examples of interrogative sentences conversion from direct to indirect speech. So, another example can be asked the police did you catch the thief? Now again, this is a question of yes or no. This is an answer of yes or no. So when we are answering to the question of yes or no, we will always make use of either whether or if. So, did you catch the thief? This is a past tense. And my past tense of direct speech gets changed to past perfect tense when we are converting direct to indirect speech. So, now my sentence in indirect speech will be, he questioned the police, or I can also make use of inquired. He inquired the police if. U is for police. Police can be he or they. So I can say that policemen are many. So they. If they did change to had. If they had caught the thief. So he asked the police, did you catch the thief? Changes to he inquired the police if they had caught the thief. Another example is Sheena asked me, will you meet me in the garden? Sheena asked me, will you meet me in the garden? Simple future tense. Right? Now this is again will. Will is again of yes or no format. So my question, Sheena wanted to know if I will changes to would meet her in the garden. So again, my commas and inverted commas are eliminated. I am not making use of the conjunction that, because that is not used while converting excuse me, interrogative sentence from direct speech to indirect speech. I will be making use of if because this is a yes-no question. So, in this video, we understood the concept of direct speech and indirect speech while converting the interrogative sentences from direct speech to indirect speech. Then we also learned that in these cases we make use of words like question, wonder, wanted to know, inquired, interrogative instead of told or said or commanded, right? Because these are the sentences which are used for asking questions. Thereby we have to make use of the words which are used for questioning. Then we also learned that the conjunction that is not used when we are converting interrogative sentences in direct form to indirect form. Then we understood the concept by implementing lot of sentences which are in direct speech and then we converted them to indirect speeches.